Welcome to Education 206, and we are in Module 9. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This week, we're focusing on one of the most important yet often underestimated components of classroom leadership, making the most of instructional time, maximizing instructional time. Every minute matters. When time is used effectively, students are more engaged, behaviors improve, and learning outcomes rise. So let's go ahead and check out our objectives. Our goals for this module are centered on efficiency and purpose. You'll learn how to use routines, structure, and strategic planning to keep your class moving forward with students actively involved. So we want to define and explain the importance of maximizing instructional time. Excuse me. We want to identify time-saving engagement building strategies, apply grade level strategies in classroom routines, and reflect on how time management supports collaboration and learning. When your class runs efficiently, you create space for deeper learning and fewer disruptions. Students feel like their time matters, which increases motivation and responsibility. So, more learning time actually leads to stronger academic outcomes. It reduces behavior issues and off task time, and it promotes students' ownership and focus. So, we're really sending the message that what we're learning is so important that we don't have a minute to waste. Um, I'd like for you to really think about how this is emphasized or how this is influenced when you go to your field placements. What's some of the language around instructional time? How do teachers keep track of time? How do students keep track of time? So pay attention to that as you get into your field placements. Maximizing instructional time is not about rushing. It's about being intentional. You'll use clear expectations, strategic routines, and engaging instruction to reduce downtime and keep students learning. So minimize downtime with smooth transitions. And remember, those expected transitions are important. And notice how all three of these are now working together. Those clear expectations, the thoughtful setup, the relationships, all of these can be used to ensure that transitions are smooth. And the smoother it is, the faster it goes, and the more we can focus on actual learning. Use engaging strategies to maintain student focus. Pay attention when you get into your field placement. How long are different parts of the lesson? How long is the lecture? How long is the independent time? Is there an opportunity for group discussion or peer discussion? How long do those last, and how does the teacher monitor them? And then, of course, offer structured student choice and autonomy. So we've got to build in some opportunities for students to use their time wisely and begin to scaffold the use of that time. That's going to vary by grade level, but kind of pay attention in the quote unquote independent time. How is student choice being used to build that autonomy that students need to develop those skills to be lifelong learners? So look through the elementary lens at some strategies that you might see in elementary classes. Young learners need structure and predictability. When they know what to do and what to do, they can transition smoothly between tasks and stay on track, even with movement and creativity built in. So in the lower grade levels, you might hear songs that are used to signal different transitions or different activities in the class. There might be like a brain break or a dance time, and you'll notice that they're going to kind of get the wiggles out, but they still get the work done. It's kind of magical, to be honest. So those morning tasks are very important. And of course, after lunch, there's probably going to be a separate, some more tasks, different tasks. So it's important that students almost have like a checklist of what they need to be doing and how long it should take them to do each task. Movement-based lessons are important for this grade level. So you'll notice that the instruction is typically shorter. It's going to be segmented a little bit more, and there are going to be some breaks built in. Clear rules and routines are important to minimize confusion and maximize instructional time. And then, of course, inclusive activities are very important to keep all of the students engaged and involved, no matter their ability level, no matter their interest level, or no matter their background. So keep those things in mind. Let's go ahead and move to look at the middle school strategies. Middle schoolers benefit from strong routines as well. Bell ringers, transition expectations, these types of things help them to stay focused and reduce those social distractions. Teaching collaboration norms prevents time wasting during group work. So during your field experiences, look for these things. What types of activities are used as bell ringers, or sometimes they're called do now activities, things that students have to do as soon as they arrive into class. How do teachers introduce and maintain group norms? Do they have class jobs? Do they have group jobs? How does it teach both productive behavior as well as autonomy? And so those types of things are really important with middle schoolers. Next are the high school strategies. So high schoolers need independence, but they also still need that structure. It's really important that clear routines and participation opportunities are used to help keep focus and interactivity during the lesson. Timelines help students manage their responsibilities and stay engaged. And so you'll even see in high school classes that timers are going to be used. They might throw them up on the board. And this helps the students to begin to gauge how long it's going to take them to do an activity, number one. But number two, it helps keep them on track to complete that activity. Group work roles need to be defined in order for there not to be any wasted time, or, we kind of like to call that the you do it scenario, like, so that none of the expectations for the group project are left incomplete. It's important that those roles are clearly defined. So it takes some time to set these things up, but it's important. Deadlines are very important. It doesn't mean that we don't work with students, but as college students know, deadlines are going to be a part of their lives forever. Whether that is turning in an assignment in a college class, whether that is paying an electric bill, or paying their rent, or paying their McNeese bill, or completing paperwork for the scholarship. We know that that's very important, and we want to transparently communicate those deadlines, as well as the accountability measures that are going to be used to ensure that they're building those lifelong skills that are important for them to become not just learners, but members of society. Every classroom has potential time wasters. The key is to plan proactively and use routines and structures to minimize disruptions. Small shifts can have a big impact on student productivity. And you're going to see time wasters, but you're also going to see some fixes in your observations as well. You're also going to see teachers making strategic moves in order to, as we say, make up time. So maybe they lost time with extra long announcements, something that was, no fault of the teacher or the students, but they still need to get through the learning content for that day. And so you'll see the teacher may adjust the lesson in order that they can focus on the most important parts that the students need to focus on, or to be able to spend time on. So some time wasters are vague instructions. The strategy to fix that is use step-by-step directions. Unclear transitions, so set timers, give warnings. Off-task group work, assign roles, provide expectations, and then, of course, passive instruction. Use questioning, movement, and visuals. So all of these things can be used in any grade level and in any setting. As you work through the materials for this module, consider how your classroom can function like a well-oiled machine without losing flexibility or student voice. This is about making every minute count without adding stress. Wrap up your thinking by reflecting on what resonates most with you this module. What are the non-negotiables when it comes to time in your classroom? How will you plan to use time as a tool for success? So make sure you use your note catcher to record and respond to these questions. I hope you have a wonderful week.